Hi all, in this video I'll be discussing on how to solve this question, which includes a lot of unknowns, and you are required to identify the unknowns as well as write equations for the reactions involved. So let's look at the question. When you get questions like this, it is advisable to read the question minimum twice so that you don't miss out on the important points. So let's get started. So the first part is they have mentioned P is an alcohol, right? And upon oxidation with KMnO4, so we know KMnO4 is a strong oxidizing agent, a ketone is produced, right? So this gives a good indication that this alcohol is an secondary alcohol. And what is the symbol for the ketone? The ketone would be Q. Next, we are going to react P, which is our secondary alcohol, with PbR3 to give R, right? Then R then is purified and refluxed with dry ether along with magnesium metal. The moment you see a combination of dry ether with magnesium metal, you should know that we are making Grignard reagent and it is given the symbol S. S is now treated with Q, the ketone, followed by acidic hydrolysis. So when you see a word which says followed by, that means there is step 1 and step 2 to yield. That means to produce 3,4-dimethyl-3-hexanol. So now you are required to identify P, Q, R, and S as well as write equations for all the reactions involved. So let's look at the question again and try to create a flowchart. So these kind of questions you have to create a flowchart. So let's see. So P now, okay, upon oxidation with a strong oxidizing agent, which is KMnO4 under acidic condition, all right, and heat, that's what we will do. We produce Q. Okay, so Q here is a ketone. Let's indicate that. P here is a secondary alcohol. Right. Next, P now reacts with PbR3 to give R, which is now purified and refluxed along with magnesium in dry ether. So that would give us the Grignard reagent S. And finally, we have a next thing whereby ketone Q and the Grignard reagent reacts to produce 3,4-dimethyl, okay, 3-hexanol. Okay, this is what is given in the question. So now in order to predict PQRS, first you have to identify the structure of 3,4-dimethyl 3-hexanol. So let's draw that hexanol. Okay, 3-hexanol. So longest carbon chain would be 6. Okay, and position number 3, we have got an OH group because it's 3-hexanol. After that, we have got position number 3, we have got a methyl group as well as at position number 4. Okay, so the remaining, you can condense it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to erase. We have got a CH2, CH3 in front and a CH2, CH3 at the back. So let's combine them. CH3 as well as here CH2, CH3. Okay, so this is the structure of 3,4-dimethyl 3-hexanol. Now, we need a secondary alcohol. Okay, so if you can recall, when you react Grignard and a ketone, okay, so we know that this part over here is definitely from the ketone. But the question here is that which two alkyl groups come from the ketone and which comes from the Grignard? Okay, meaning you can see that we have one alkyl group here, the other alkyl group here, sorry, not that, together, the other alkyl group here, okay, and the final alkyl group here. So if I were to label it, I would give it, okay, let's say A alkyl group. Okay, let's say A, B, and C. So 2 of it is coming from our ketone and 1 of it is coming from our Grignard reagent. All right, so let's see which one can it be. So if let's say A and C are coming from our ketone, okay, can it be B coming from the Grignard? Because you must remember that ketone Q and Grignard S is sort of related. Okay, it is sort of related because both of them are coming from a secondary alcohol. So if that's the case, you can see that it would be best if we say that C is from the Grignard, whereas A and B is making up the ketone. So let's give it a try. You have to do a bit of try and error here, but I think this will work. So let's say Q now, okay, is a ketone that is made up of alkyl group A and B, whereas S is a Grignard that is made from the alkyl group C. So how do we draw a Grignard from alkyl group C? We start from CH3, CH2, then we have got the carbon, hydrogen, and the CH3. If you see, the joining here happens at this part. So, okay, the joining happens at that part. Therefore, my magnesium bromide will be there. Okay, so as you can see, both of them have got a ethyl and a methyl group. So that makes sense. Okay, so if I were to revert Q back to P, because P is the alcohol which made the ketone, and that would give me COH, CH3 here, CH2, CH3, nothing changes there, but please make sure that our carbon has got 4 bonds. So please add an hydrogen at the bottom to make secondary alcohol. So that's secondary, that's correct. Now what about R? So R now, okay, is a haloalkane. So haloalkane now, replace your OH with the corresponding haloalkane, which is your bromine. So R now will be C, this black C. So what changes? Bromine, okay, and then nothing else. CH3 in the front, CH2, CH3, and then we have got hydrogen. And now check whether R can be related to S. Yes. If you can see, the only thing that changes between R and S is the Mg after treating with magnesium in dry ether, whereas the side alkyl groups are the same. So this confirms the structure of PQ, R and S. So the most important part is you understand this. Okay, how reaction between Grignard and ketone happens. So Grignard and ketone, if you can recall, generally, let's say ketone comes with an R prime group, and Grignard comes with an R double prime, MgX, okay, MgX group. So the product will look like, okay, the product of that two will look like COH, C double bond O becomes COH, R prime, R, and R double prime. So this would be the general formula of a product reacting from ketone and Grignard. So with this, we have identified which is R prime, and which is R double prime. Okay, in our structure here, and we try to match back which alkyl group comes from ketone and which one comes from Grignard. Okay, if let's say you would have chosen A and C coming from ketone, that would be quite impossible because it would mean that B is coming from Grignard. And then if we work backwards, it would be just bromomethane. Salah lah, sebab secondary alcohol must give a secondary haloalkane. Jadi tak sah if this was just CH3Br. Kalau saya kata CH3 ni datang daripada Grignard. So sebenarnya yang datang daripada Grignard adalah bahagian C ini. Alright, I hope you can understand this, predicting the products. Now next, as for equations, now I'm just going to summarize it by saying, make sure you write this again fully. Okay, by one. These are all the reactions that you have to write. So how many reactions we have? We have got reaction number 1 here, oxidation. Reaction number 2 here. Please remember the side products for PBr3. Reaction number 3 here. Okay, as well as reaction number 4. So you have to write 4 chemical equations for the reactions. Okay, so that part I leave it to you all to write, because you have to go and look through your lecture notes and find out what are the side products for this and what are the side products for this as well. Okay, so that's all for this short video on how do you decode questions that involves alphabets or unknowns, whereby you have to identify what is the reactants or products. Okay, thank you.